You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Enough about all this ownership BS that's been going around. There's plenty of time to talk about that. Let's talk about some international football. Let's talk about some of the Chelsea players. What are they up to? There's a bit of interesting conversations that's happening in social media about the midfield. I'm not really sure how I entirely feel about this, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
Welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this international act. Let's talk some footy. We've been missing out on some footy talks. There's a whole heap of stuff happening around Chelsea Football Club that is absolutely non-footy. And there comes a time where it just becomes a bit too much. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me showcase this particular picture that is doing the rounds at the moment in social media, especially in football Twitter. I'm not really sure how I like this particular setup. So Chelsea Loan Army, they've got 14,000 followers. This midfield, please. Now, look, Conor Gallagher, once again, another assist in the international front. I think at the moment he's got somewhere around, there we go. Conor Gallagher now has 14 goals and assists for club and country this season. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, Conor Gallagher at the moment for me is inevitable at Chelsea Football Club. I think you cannot deny him anymore. He has to be part of the setup somehow or the other next season. Thomas Tuchel needs to find a way. And if we're going to have some sort of drawbacks in the summer in terms of how much we can spend, obviously with the new owners still pending, how much time are they really going to have to organize, transfer budget, transfer targets, scouting, is Marina still going to be part? Like, there's a lot of question marks before we can even think about that. So players like Conor Gallagher, Armando Broja, these players coming back, Levi Colwell is another one who's doing very good in Huddersfield. We may have to think about our loan army to come back and sort of help us out. And I've got no issues with that because they are absolutely talented footballers at the moment. So Conor Gallagher, he's having a stellar season at Crystal Palace, one of their best players. And for me, yes, he should be part of the squad. But this setup, ladies and gentlemen, this particular setup of Gallagher, Rice and Mount, this is what's circling and this is what some parts of the fan base wants. And I feel like, is it the hype? What is it that you like about this combination? For me, let me just, point a few things out. Number one, for me, it's Gallagher on Mount, not Gallagher and Mount, because I feel like they're very similar attributes. Both press well, both energetic, both have the capabilities of scoring goals, but both, I don't think, are overly creative. They're workhorses. And they can put that goal away, but I don't think they're midfield maestros. Do you know what I mean? And then right behind them, you've got Declan Rice. So what type of football are we actually wanting to play with that trio? Because I don't think none of them are supreme in terms of ball retention, possession-based football. You need someone who's going to be one of those out of the trio that's very good on the ball and excellent when it comes to possession-based football. I don't think Declan Rice, being the deepest midfielder as the anchor, is someone who wants to be touching the ball 120, 130 times a match. Do you know what I mean? Recycling the possession, one-touch passes. He wants to probably, at times, bomb up too. Or most of the times, he probably just wants to defend. But if that's the case, the philosophy that Thomas Tuchel has, which is a possession-based philosophy, build up from the back, we want to hold the ball. I don't think any of these three are specifically that wants to hold the ball. Mount and Gallagher are both, yes, they like to play from the deep, but more arrive in the final third. They're not someone who's, engineers in building up play from the back. They're not your Pedris or your, varieties of the world. For example, in our team, Kovacic and Jorginho. I think that particular setup is a bit too much of, we'll press from the front, Forget about the build-up. Maybe we'll play on the counter. This wouldn't be a bad situation if we played on the counter, but Chelsea Football Club will probably play on the counter against max 2 or 3 teams in world football. Unless the other team is looking to press us and then we have the counter opportunity, like recently Lille. But in the Premier League, most of the times you're going to see Chelsea having to make the play. And that midfield, I don't think they make the play. And if you're going to have that midfield, workhorses, like let's just say, even Liverpool, like they've got passing maestros in their midfield with Thiago Alcantara. Even Fabinho is a very good passer, man. Very, very good passer. Jordan Henderson is a very good passer as well. You need that level of... If you're going to have that trio, you best believe you have... If we go with a back three, for example, you best believe you have flying wing backs, which we do with Reece and Chilwell, but you need to then have backups as well. You need to have excellent front three. Yes, Kai Havertz is one of them, but you're gonna need like a Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, or Luis Diaz, Diego Jota, that level of output up front, along with Kai. For me, that's a bit too much of similar attributes. The way I may probably set up is maybe Gallagher, Kovacic, and Rice, for example. Or maybe Rice, Kante, and Kovacic. Or maybe if we're going to play like that, Gallagher and Mount, Shermani, as opposed to Rice. You could probably coexist. Mount and Gallagher could probably coexist because, look, they'll bomb up. You need someone who's disciplined, but at the same time who's very capable of finding critical passes on the clutch. I just don't know if Rice is the man for that. Let's have a look at what in social media, some of the quotes that's been coming around. You guys let me know how you feel about that midfield trio. Conor Gallagher now has 14 goals and assists for the club and country this season. Look, as I said, he's inevitable for Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea Football Club needs him, but I just feel like if we're going to play Conor Gallagher and Mason Mount, we do need a different style of sitting midfield. And I don't think Rice is the answer. And then most of the games, you may have either Conor or Mount. You're not going to have Mount Gallagher regularly because I just feel like that's too similar. That's just my personal feeling. But you guys let me know how you kind of see the whole situation. Jamie Redknapp on Gallagher. I really like him, but I didn't see him becoming the player he has. I watched him a lot in the Chelsea youth team, and he was a good technical player. What's made the difference for him is confidence and scoring goals. He's become a complete one. This is what I've been saying about Conor Gallagher. The one way you're going to break into Chelsea Football Club is goals and assists from midfield, because that's something we don't have in our midfield. And he's doing it. He's doing it. A very lovely assist for England as well. Probably was meant to go for Mount, but Mount did well to let that ball go. And then obviously Luke Shaw thundered that shot in. Southgate on Gallagher. He was infectious with his energy. I thought he could be a bit tidier with the ball. See, even Southgate, some particular manager that I don't really rate, even he's saying that he can be a little bit more tidy on the ball. And I know what he means about Conor Gallagher. I love Conor Gallagher. And as I keep saying, he's inevitable for Chelsea. But he ain't a passing maestro. And if you're going to be a position-based footballing team, you do need that attribute. Do you know what I mean? You need like that Kovacic kind of player. Southgate, Gallagher is infectious and he can set the tone for the rest of the team. And he presses with ambition. He goes and makes contact and turns a lot of the ball over. We feel Mount and Gallagher press well, but can leave us vulnerable to the switch. Southgate, once again, on the money. Gareth Southgate on Mason Mount and Conor Gallagher. We feel Mason Mount and Gallagher press well, but can leave us vulnerable to the switch. The Swiss worked that out. If Switzerland are working that out, ladies and gentlemen, you best believe some of the Premier League teams will figure that out, especially Man City, Liverpool, those type of teams. They will 100% figure that out. And I just don't think that's a right way to set up the midfield. Kai Havertz, ladies and gentlemen, has scored in the international front again today against Israel. Very lovely header. For a man, who's he's very tall, and you'd probably expect him to be good in air. But at the same time, you probably think Kai Havertz. When you think about Kai Havertz, you think about, it's the guile, it's the vision, passing, ability. You don't really necessarily put him with heading attributes, but that is one of his weapons as well. I love the fact that lately he's been scoring a few headers. Once again, a lovely header, nice flick on header against Israel, and he continues with the goal, continues to score, and I'm loving it. I'm loving this guy, this player. It's just going strength to strength, and it's only beneficial for us. He's doing it in the international level. Hopefully, he can bring that flavour back into Chelsea, continue on his Chelsea form. It's only looking great for us. Thomas Muller about Havertz. Kai has recently played very good games at Chelsea as a 9, and has proven himself in the really physical Premier League. In my opinion, he is the best young talent in the world right now. He would have to be up there. For me, Pedri is up there as well, but Kai Havertz, my God, he would be one of the best young talents in world football, undoubtedly. Kai Havertz might be one of the when he got past Bundesliga tax already, has clutch moments for Chelsea, and his stats for Germany are insane, man. 23 games, 18 of those as a starter with 18 goals and assists, averaging a goal assist under 75 minutes. That's fantastic stats for Germany, and I hope it just continues in recent times. He's been majestic for Chelsea Football Club, and I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. Thomas Müller and Kai Havertz. He's the best young talent in the world right now. Love it. Thomas Müller, Kai Havertz played very well at Chelsea at top for us. Also, very important step to have these versatile players. You can put Kai anywhere in the front. We get along very well on and off the pitch. Brilliant. Obviously, Timo Werner score as well, which is great. Hopefully, he can bring that confidence. Very nice, tidy finish. But I have to admit, ladies and gentlemen, he pretty much did nothing else in that match against Israel. There were a few good balls that was delivered to him in the box, and he absolutely fluffed the opportunities. Look, I don't know. I've already made my mind with Timo Werner that he needs to leave Chelsea Football Club, but I hope he can, somehow kickstart his career, because the way his career sort of declined this season off the back of not the greatest season last season, but still instrumental in our success. Lots of assists. He was a key man in terms of our Champions League success as well. But this season, I suppose the introduction of Lukaku and now Kai Havertz doing well, his minutes have dried up, and for his own sake, I hope he moves on. Once again, the match against Israel, he wasn't the greatest, but it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps us up, the international scene from Chelsea perspective. Let me know how you feel about the midfield trio, Gallagher, Mount, and Declan Rice. I really want to know that setup, how you feel about that. Kai Havertz, once again, absolutely ripping it up. I can't wait till Chelsea comes back after this international break. And Kai Havertz, I'd really love to see more of him. Yes. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time. See ya.